بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. Last time we covered regarding the Mahdi, all the different aspects of the Mahdi, and all the different descriptions of what the Mahdi will be, what will he do, and so forth. And then we said that will be the last series of minor signs completed, and basically the first major sign to start. And now we go on towards the Dajjal, and I gave a small introduction regarding Dajjal and so forth, regarding Masih, the false and the promised one. And I mentioned regarding the meaning of Dajjal, meaning to confuse and to deceive, and there are many Dajjals along that way. So amongst this hadith he mentions regarding that there will be many Dajjals, 30 Dajjals and so forth, but there will be no Nabi after me. So whoever claims to be a Nabi after me obviously is completely false. So who is this Dajjal? And then I mentioned regarding there's two main hadith that we're going to cover. The first set of hadith, or the first sets of hadith, is to do with regarding one person who's called Ibn Sayyad. Ibn Sayyad is this person, Safi Ibn Sayyad, and there's many ahadith on this person. So who is this person? Very different type of character. His character is such where he's very, I don't know the right word is, but ambiguous. We don't really know too much about him, but very cryptic kind of character. So this hadith, there's one young man, he lived in Medina. He was from a Jewish tribe, and he was a kind of linked towards the jinns and had some sort of sorcery, soothsayer, kind of fortune-telling type person. And he was a young kid of 13 years old, and he interacts with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He interacts as a non-Muslim, meaning he's not a Sahabi. So this first hadith mentions regarding, there's many hadith that I'll mention today just regarding Ibn Sayyad. So this Muslim, he mentioned this hadith that he was heard that a certain boy sees the future. So in amongst the Sahaba, there's this one person, and all the Sahaba said this person, he sees the future. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Umar radiyallahu ta'ala an walked to a group of children, and amongst them was this boy, and his name was Ibn Sayyad, Safi Ibn Sayyad. And he was unaware that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was right behind him. So he came creeping up behind him, and then Ibn Sayyad didn't know who he was behind him. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentions here that, do you testify that I am, and turns around and he sees him and he's a bit shocked. He goes, do you testify that I am the Rasul of Allah? So Ibn Sayyad replies, he goes, I testify that you are the Rasul of the Ummis. And he says it very in a derogatory kind of comments, and he says it in that manner which is kind of mocking. You're the Rasul of the Ummis, the unlettered ones. This is the reply. So Ibn Sayyad then says, he carries on saying, he says out of arrogance and pride, do you testify that I am the Rasul of Allah? Do you testify that I am the Nabi of Allah? So what is he doing? He's claiming that he is a Nabi and he is a Rasul, which is a sign of Dajjal, which is a sign of Dajjal. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied by saying, Amantu billahi wa rasulihi, meaning I believe in Allah and His Rasul. So what do you see? So this person says, I see two people come to me. So he's seeing regarding the future and so forth. Because I see two people come to me. One tells the truth and one tells a lie. When there's two people coming to me, one tells the truth and one tells a lie. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes, this matter is confusing for you. There's both liars. These people that are coming and he saw in his dream, or they saw that the thing that he saw, because they're both liars. I have a test for you. I'm going to test you now. Oh Ibn Sayyad, I'm going to test you, because I've hidden something from you. I've hidden something. Let's see if you know this thing. So he's testing this Ibn Sayyad. So and this ayat of the Quran has just been revealed a few moments ago. So he's revealed this ayat and says, فَرَتَّقِبْ يَوْمَ تَأْتِ السَّمَاءُ بِدُخَانٍ مُبِينٍ. This is to do with regarding Dukhan, Surah Dukhan. And this ayat was revealed just literally a few minutes ago with him and Umar radiallahu ta'ala an. Because let's see if he knows this. Let's see if he knows this. So what happens is that he goes, what am I hiding with me? In this ayat of the Quran he's thinking, what am I hiding with me? Go and predict this, go and tell me. So this is a very fascinating answer that he gives. So Ibn Sayyad, he goes, Dukh. What he says, there's Dukh. So this word and Dukh doesn't really have a meaning, but he's saying part of the verse. He's saying part of the verse, Bidukhanin Mubin. He's saying part of the verse. Meaning, he had some sort of jinn with him, or some shayateen with him, and then he told him only part of the verse, or part of what he's heard, not everything. And this is what the shayateen and the jinnat do, is they don't say everything, they only say some parts of it, and they try to say, so he says, dukh, only you can say this. You can only say this matter. So then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam goes, ikhsa' ya adu Allah. He goes, shut up, ya adu Allah. He goes, be quiet, O enemy of Allah. You shall never go beyond your meagerness. So Umar radiallahu ta'ala, obviously what is Umar going to say? Let me execute him now. Let me take out my sword, let me chop off his head. He's a Dajjal, I swear, but this person here is a Dajjal. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if he is that Dajjal that we're talking about, then you can't kill him. And if he is the other Dajjal, then there's no real need to kill him, because there's many Dajjals that will come and go. So Isa alayhi salam will be the one that will only kill that Dajjal that we know about and everyone knows about. So he leaves it there, and then this person goes on. So this is a very when he's a 13-year-old boy, he's got this kind of tendencies to have shaitan with him or jinnat with him, and then telling him certain things. Now, more hadith mentions regarding this, that one Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went to go test Ibn Sayyad again. He's going to test Ibn Sayyad, and he goes, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam walked to his house with some of the Sahaba, and he sallallahu alaihi wasallam hid behind some date palms, trying to see him secretly through the trees. But Ibn Sayyad's mother saw him and shouted to inform her son that, look who's behind the trees. It's that person there. It's not Rasulullah. They call him a certain name which they used to have for him, and they called him by that name. So this was him trying to be tested again and again. So this person, he continued to live in Medina. Ibn Sayyad, he continued to live in Medina for many years. And many Sahaba thought that this is definitely the Dajjal, which has been mentioned in the hadith after hadith after hadith. This is him. This is him. Umar radiallahu ta'ala, Jabir radiallahu ta'ala, Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala, all these people, even Hafsa radiallahu ta'ala, all these people believe that this is the Dajjal. Muslim mentioned this hadith. He goes, Ibn Umar, the son of Umar radiallahu ta'ala, Umar radiallahu, his son Ibn Umar, his daughter Hafsa, that whole family thinks this is Dajjal. So Ibn Umar radiallahu ta'ala mentions that Ibn Sayyad, he met Ibn Sayyad on the street. So he's walking past, he sees Ibn Sayyad on the street. And then what happens? He starts arguing and fighting with Ibn Sayyad. And Ibn Sayyad was very angry at the time. Extremely angry, red to the core, and he starts going in a huff and a puff and so forth. So Ibn Umar then saw all of this, and then he left. He left and visited his sister Hafsa radiallahu ta'ala anha, and went to his own sister's house. And then she heard what happened, that there's been a good kafafal between the two of them. Ibn Sayyad and Ibn Umar, the whole town knows that you had a little fight with one another. So Hafsa radiallahu ta'ala anha, she mentions here to his brother Ibn Umar, Abdullah, what is the matter with you? Leave it out. Why are you always fighting for and so forth? Don't you know that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Dajjal will come and appear after something has caused him to become angry. Don't make this guy angry, because I think he's Dajjal. If you make him angry, then something bad's going to happen. Basically, that's what she's saying. She's saying that, don't fight with this person. He's going to get angry. And once he gets angry, who knows what's going to happen next. So rather, don't make this person angry. I think he's Dajjal. That's just the reading between the lines. And other Sahaba denied, obviously. They said, no, this is not Dajjal. How can it be Dajjal? And now there's evidence behind it. He's not Dajjal. So some evidence says that he is, and now evidence says he's not. So it's a very confusing matter. But let's go into the more evidences, inshaAllah. Muslim mentions this hadith, and in this hadith he mentions here that I was doing, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I was doing Hajj, I was doing Umrah, not Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu said this, I was going on Umrah or Hajj, one of the two, with Ibn Sayyad with me. What does that show? Ibn Sayyad has now become a Muslim. Now he's become a Muslim. So Ibn Sayyad has become a Muslim. So now he's doing Hajj or Umrah, one of the two. And in the night time, and this is kind of sad but kind of funny at the same time, that the night time came and the caravan stops to rest. There's a big caravan. Inside of that caravan there's maybe 30 people, maybe 20 people, and they're all together with all the horses and so forth, and they're all going on to Hajj or Umrah. And then they stop to rest because it's night time. It's about to come night time and they're going to rest. So everyone then runs away from Ibn Sayyad. They run away from him. Why are they running away from him? Because they still think The rumor is he's Dajjal. This person here, he's Dajjal. Except for Abu Sa'id Khudri, he stays behind. He doesn't move. And I became very terrified of this person, because there's rumors that he's Dajjal, and I'm very terrified. So he's like, you're next to this person, and what shall I do? So Ibn Sayyad camps and sits next to me. Abu Sa'id is narrating the story, he goes, he sits next to me. And then Abu Sa'id Khudri, he mentions that it is so hot. He's mentioning to himself, he's mentioning to Ibn Sayyad, he goes, look, it's really hot, man. Why don't you go all the way over to the tree and take some shade there? So he's trying to get rid of him as well. So everyone's he's running away from Ibn Sayyad. Even Abu Sa'id Khudri goes, well, just go over there, and there's nice shade over there, it's hot. Just go and sit underneath the tree and take some rest there. So Ibn Sayyad takes the hint, and then he moves and he goes all the way there. Grudgingly goes all the way away from Abu Sa'id Khudri. Now what happens is that they're giving out the food. Now it's time to give out the food. They're in a caravan area, there's so many people there. So now they're giving out the food. And then what happens is no one wants to give the food to Ibn Sayyad. What do? They give it to the closest person. And who's the closest person? Abu Sa'id Khudri. So they give the food to Abu Sa'id Khudri, and hopefully that he gives it to Ibn Sayyad. So once the food has come and the meat has come, Ibn Sayyad sees the meat, he comes over to Abu Sa'id Khudri to share the food. And Ibn Sayyad comes with a glass of milk. He comes with a glass of milk with him. He goes, take some. And he's forcing on him, take some. Make sure that you take some. So obviously Abu Sa'id Khudri radiallahu says that this milk is warm. I don't like warm milk. He's trying to make excuses. I don't want your milk. I don't want your milk because you're rumored that you're the Dajjal. So I don't want your milk. But he wants to say it nicely. He wants to say it in a certain way. He goes, it's warm. I don't want warm milk. It's okay. You can have it. And the only reason he didn't want to do this is because he was touched by him and he's drank by him. Imagine I drink from the same cup as Dajjal. That's what he's going through his mind. So Ibn Sayyad says how, and this is very disheartening, but because he's a Muslim, according to this hadith. So Ibn Sayyad goes, how I wish I could take a rope and tie it on the tree and commit suicide because of what people say about me. Because everyone's making rumors about me, that I am like this and I am like that. And I wish that I would commit suicide because people are treating me in this manner. So it's quite sad how people are treating him because of rumors. So Abu Sa'id al-Khudri radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he says to him, Ibn Sayyad is narrating hadith to him. Ibn Sayyad is going to narrate hadith to Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. Abu Sa'id al-Khudri is such a person, he's got thousands of hadith he's narrated. So he knows, Ibn Sayyad knows, that if I say this to him, he knows what I'm talking about. Because Abu Sa'id, don't you know, being an Ansari, that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said about your knowledge of hadith? Oh Abu Sa'id, don't you know, the Dajjal is a kafir and I am a Muslim? Don't you know, Abu Sa'id, that the Dajjal has no children and I left my children back at home? How can I be Dajjal? I left him in Medina. He carries on saying this, oh Abu Sa'id, don't you know that Dajjal should not enter Makkah and Medina? Look, I just came from Makkah and I came from Medina, I'm going to Makkah. Dajjal is not allowed in Makkah and Medina. I'm here. You saw me there. And he continued making the arguments until I was having a soft spot in my heart for Ibn Sayyad. So Ibn Sayyad is talking to him regarding this and that. So Ibn Sayyad, he's got a soft spot for him. And everyone at this moment should have a soft spot for him because he's mentioning dalil after dalil, proof after proof that he is not Dajjal. And then he switches it on his head. He goes, but I know who I know who Dajjal is. He says right at the end, I know who Dajjal is, and I know where he shall be born, and I know who his parents are, and I know where he is right now. So after mentioning all the proofs, then he goes, I know where he is. Then he just switches it back over and goes, so he had a soft spot, and then he switched it back over, and then I was like, get away from me. I was again, how can you know where he is and this and that, and where did you get this information from? So Abu Sa'id, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, may you be cursed for what you have done, and walks away. Abu Sa'id, he mentions, may you be cursed for what you have done, and then he walks away. Meaning, look what you done. You made me feel sorry for you, and now you say this, and then he walks off and then leaves Ibn Sayyad alone. So Ibn Sayyad, after this, he participates in some battles, and then he disappears in one of the battles, and then he's never ever seen again. Nobody knows how he dies, where he's gone, and nothing else. This is the story of Ibn Sayyad. This is the story of Ibn Sayyad. There's so much hadith on Ibn Sayyad that this person, even Umar and the family of Umar and Ibn Umar and Hafsa, and this is the wife of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, thinks that this is Dajjal. This young boy who's growing up is Dajjal. But there's so much proofs that he gives, which makes sense, complete sense, that he's not Dajjal. Because Dajjal should not go in Medina and Makkah, and he lives there. Dajjal should not have children, but he's got children. But then he knows where Dajjal is, and he knows his parents are. So all of this is very confusing, extremely confusing. Is this person Dajjal, or is he not? Some people, some Sahaba said, yes, definitely this person is Dajjal. And some of them said, no, this can't be because of certain reasons. So this is now very confusing, but this is how it's happened. So, but these are the hadith, and these are hadith in Muslim, these are hadith in Sahih hadith regarding this, and all of the Sahaba knew about this person. There were rumors regarding this, and all the Sahaba knew about this one. So Ibn Sayyad was this person, and obviously there's lots of grey area what he talked about. So Ibn Sayyad, was he a Muslim or not? Obviously in this hadith he mentions that I am a Muslim, and he later accepted Islam after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That means he's not a Sahabi. We do not call him radiyallahu ta'ala, because when he did meet Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what happened? He was a non-Muslim at the time. So this is how you label a person who is a Sahabi. Is you have Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke or saw that person in the halat and in the state that he is a Muslim. He's a Muslim. Then he becomes a Sahabi. If the person is not a Muslim, then you can't call that person a Sahabi. Example, Abu Jahl. Can't call him a Sahabi. He's not Muslim. Understand? So only when a person is a Muslim and he sees or interacts with Rasul, then he becomes a Sahabi. So this person at that time was not a Muslim and he interacted with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That means he's not a Sahabi, even though he became Muslim later on after the death of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not only that, if you look at Ibn Sayyad, I mentioned that he's got children. So his children actually became one of the scholars of Medina. He became one of the scholars of Medina, Umara, and he's a teacher of Imam Malik as well. He's a teacher of Imam Malik. So what do we derive from this is that, number one is, I just wanted to mention regarding this because Dajjal is my topic, and Dajjal, this hadith, there's many hadith that the Sahaba actually thought that this was Dajjal and so forth. Then I'm going to mention regarding the different aspects, and the second hadith that I wanted to cover. I've got 5 minutes or so, yeah, inshallah. I can cover this second hadith, and this is a very famous hadith regarding the hadith of Tamim ad-Dari radiyallahu ta'ala an. Tamim ad-Dari radiyallahu ta'ala an is the second hadith. This is a famous, very famous hadith of Tamim ad-Dari, and this is the most famous hadith that you'll find. It's in Muslim as well, and it's narrated by one Sahabiyya. Her name is Fatima binti Qais. Fatima binti Qais was the only person to narrate this hadith of Tamim ad-Dari. So what had happened is that once Fatima was sitting in her house, and there was an announcement. There was an announcement in the neighborhood, in the area of Medina, and everyone was running. Sorry, there's a few people running through the city saying, "As-salatu jami'ah, as-salatu jami'ah." So as-salatu jami'ah means come to the masjid, basically. Come to the masjid, we've got a very important announcement. Everyone rushing to the masjid, everyone should come to the masjid. So I rushed to the masjid, Fatima bint Qais. And she prayed her salah behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the row of the women. And the first line of the women, she was right there. She was very eager to try and listen to what this announcement was. So then Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went onto the mimbar, and then he makes an announcement, and he goes, "Remain where you are. After the salah, remain where you are. Do you know why I had called all of you here today? I didn't call you for advice giving, rather I'm telling you about a story of Tamim ad-Dari radiyallahu ta'ala an. Yani he had just embraced Islam, and he had told me a story that had happened to him in the past. Meaning Tamim ad-Dari was a Christian, and in his voyages in the past while he was a Christian, we're narrating that story now. So he has embraced Islam now. He's come back and he has embraced Islam now, but before he was a Christian, and he's from the Dari tribe. So Tamim ad-Dari, and these tribes are in the northern part of Arabia, where there's lots of Christians there as well. But these are seamen. Seamen meaning they are traveling the navy, they're traveling the seas. Arabs and seas do not go together. Arabs and water don't go together. But these ones they're part of the navy. They go on boats and they travel the world and so forth. In the 9th year of Hijri, this happens, right at the end of the time of Rasulullah, the 9th year of Hijri. Once Tamim ad-Dari tells his story of this specific expedition, then he sallallahu alaihi wasallam calls all the people to the masjid, and he's going to narrate this story. What is this story? This is a very famous story. He goes, in a ship with the tribe of Judam and Lukham, there was a massive storm inside of the ship, and now the 30 days we were lost at sea. 30 days we were lost at sea, and we came too far away from the ocean that they didn't recognize where they were. They didn't know where they were, far away in a different type of ocean, and they got lost. And then what happened? They saw a small little island in the distance. So what happened? Tamim ad-Dari with a few other people got the small little mini boats that you get. They get off the big boat and they go into the mini boats and they rowed their way to the island. And then Tamim ad-Dari took this boat and he got some food and water and so forth to take on this little boat. So on this island, when they reached the island, they met a terrifying beast, an animal. They saw this big beast that could speak to them. And he was speaking to Tamim ad-Dari. He can't recognize his front from his back. Just try and visualize the Bigfoot. You know Bigfoot? They got hair from everywhere. So just visualize something like this. Something like this. And he says, come. The beast says, come with me to my master. So this beast escorts Tamim ad-Dari and his group all the way to a cave. And they saw a man, larger than any man has seen before. And he was tied up severely in chains. So this man questioned this group with many different questions. And there were questions regarding the sea, certain type of sea. What has happened to the sea? Is it still there, or has it dried up yet? And then he goes, what about this well in this part of the land? Has it dried up yet? Is it still there? What about this land? Has it been this? And he's questioning them, question after question after question, and he's answering all of these questions. And then he goes, and then he mentions, oh, don't worry, this sea, it will dry up. This well, it will dry up. This will happen, that will happen, this will. And he's mentioning what's going to happen in the future. He goes, it's not too long. Then he asks about, has the Ummi Prophet been sent to the Arabs yet? He goes, yes, he has been sent. He's saying this as a Christian. He's saying this as a Christian. Has the Ummi Prophet been sent? He goes, yes, he's been sent. Yes, he's been sent. So he goes, has he come out of Makkah and settled in Yathrib? Yes, he has done this. Did the Arabs fight him yet? Yes, they have. Who won? Sometimes he wins, sometimes they win. This is what his version of events is. If there is any good in the Arabs, they should follow him. And I will tell you about me. I am the Masih. He says this. I am the Masih. Only a matter of time before I am let loose. I shall visit every single city on earth for 40 days, except for Mecca and Medina. Why? Because it's haram for me, and the angels will stop me from entering this place. This is the hadith of Tamim ad-Dari. This is the hadith. Only one Sahabiya has narrated this hadith. Only one. Even though everybody was there, we only find one. It's a khabri wahid. There's only one Sahabiya, Sahih hadith, which has been mentioned, and lots of discussion regarding it and so forth. Number one is, how does it even make sense? Where did this beast come from? Where is this island? All of these stuff. So much conspiracy theories. Leave all the conspiracy theories. Take it at face value that this is what we have got. This is all the information that we have. Has it happened? We've got a Sahih hadith about it. Has anyone mentioned anything else regarding Tamim ad-Dari in the story? No, only one hadith. Why only one hadith? I don't know the answer to this. Allahu A'lam, Allah knows best. But this is the two main hadith about Dajjal, Ibn Sayyad and his story. And then you have Tamim ad-Dari in this one. They're completely opposites. One is about the person in Medina and his soothsayer and so forth. Then he turns to a Muslim and then he talks about this and that. And then he gives his evidence that I am not Dajjal. And then you find Tamim ad-Dari and you find Dajjal is chained up and so forth. What's happening and so forth. So it's quite a bit of confusion. We'll try and do different aspects of the different Dajjal. Of Dajjal and the different aspects of Dajjal, inshallah, tomorrow, and we'll cover the different aspects of Dajjal, inshallah. Lots of different ahadith on Dajjal, and I'll try and reconcile between this hadith and what happened with regarding Dajjal. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us and protect us from the fitna of Dajjal and all the different types of fitnas as well. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guidance for protection and for forgiveness of all our sins. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanallah bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Inshallah, if everyone can make their way towards the tent, inshallah. the food will be served there now, inshallah.
आज